We mentioned Paris Saint-Germain. We mentioned Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You know what's coming, Jules.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe is free to sign as a free agent with
Yeah.
any club. And he talked about it after the
was-
Paris Saint-Germain
And
match.
I thought of you because I thought, well done. Gab will appreciate the fact that you come out and you talk about it. And he said, I haven't decided yet. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. And then we asked him, will it be as late as it was in 2022 when it was end of May?
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, it's because back then I didn't know until May what I was going to do. But if I know before, if I know earlier, why wait? There's no point. He also said something really interesting, and I think something that gives you a little hint that he is going to go, because he said that really his decision was not important, well, we all know that it is, because after the agreement that he found with PSG and Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the club is protected and the interest of the club will be preserved in case he leaves as a free agent, which means that if he leaves, the club won't be like left-handed in the sense that there will be no transfer fee, but because he's going to waive off the bonus that the club owes him, which is up to 80 million euros, it will feel almost like a transfer fee for PSG. And I think for him to say that and to almost, I don't think he's ever mentioned it. And so we've been briefed, but you know, we've been told, but nobody really on record had talked about that point. Shows that for him to make sure that this is out there, this is confirmed, that he confirmed it, maybe shows that this is the idea and the plan.
So let's explain this for people who may have no idea what you're talking about. And correct me. Feel free to jump in and correct me if I'm wrong. When he decided to turn his back on Real Madrid the first time, he signed that 2+1 deal.
Yeah, that's right.
That +1 involved a bunch of money and loyalty bonuses that would have pumped up his compensation enormously. Effectively, he's saying, well, look, you won't have to pay these loyalty bonuses. The deal I reached in the summer when I said I wasn't going to extend it another year means that you won't have to pay the loyalty bonuses, right?
So at the end of each of those 3 seasons, potentially 2+1, there are bonuses that PSG, to bump up his salary even more, we're going to pay each year.
Which is going to give that money back for the 2 extra years you stayed?
No, so the first season is already paid, obviously.
Right.
For the second season, Kylian said to them, listen, don't pay me those bonuses if I leave on a free. Because he could have taken that money, because that is paid at the end of the season, and then go on a free to Real Madrid, for example.
And then the third season, obviously there won't be a third season, so they don't have to pay him his salary, and they don't have to pay him the bonus.
But that's
It's a bit fugazi here, I think.
Why?
To make it seem like, oh look, Paris Saint-Germain's protected.
Because right now they owe him 80 million euros. So he would have.
They chose to give him that salary.
Well,
but
yeah.
I think they would rather he stayed and played than pay him the 80 million euros. Yeah.
Well, no, because if he stayed, they have to pay the 80 million euros.
Right, but I would assume that they would prefer that.
True, but he could also take the money and still leave on a free.
Of course.
So I think in a way you would feel maybe like, okay, we don't pay the 80, but he still goes. But it's one of those. Back to Madrid, Gabi, as well. Carlo Ancelotti says the club won't be signing a new central defender in January, despite the season ending for David Alaba, and we're not really sure if Eder Militao can come back before the end of the season either. Does this make sense to you?
No, it makes zero sense.
So why?
I saw what he said. Where he came out and he said that, and he said, "Well, because we have them, and then we have
Chouameni and Carvajal." He mentioned.
We have Chouameni. We have
Rudiger and Nacho.
Rudiger and Nacho, and then we have Chouameni, who's hasn't played center back most of his career, but obviously can play there if need be, and Dani Carvajal, who also hasn't played center back most of his career. Nacho, by the way, turns 34 or 30, even 35 in March.
And he was suspended against Mallorca, so Chouameni played as centre back.
I mean, it makes no sense to me. I think, though, this is part of the reason why he got a new deal. Because if this were 99% of other managers, they'd be screaming for the treetops for another center back. Because, by the way, Rudiger is the type of guy who gets suspended, yeah? Nacho is suspended. You really going to tell me you're going to go and you're going to play with Chouameni and Carvajal? Really?
No, yeah, I know.
I don't know if he's doing some mind trick and then Florentino says, oh, look, just kidding. No, we decided we have an opportunity. We'll bring somebody in. This, to me, seems absolutely crazy.
And also, I'm sure you can bring someone for 6 months. Even Rafa Marin, you can bring him back from his loan. There's a lot of options.
We told you. Rafa Varane.
Yeah, Varane as well. There's a lot of things you could do.
One more Mbappe question for you, because I can't resist.
Yeah.
Christophe Dugarry, who is neither a Paris Saint-Germain fan nor Paris born and bred, I checked, he had some pretty mean things to say about Mbappe on RMC. He insisted Mbappe's stagnating, that he's lost his way, and that he hopes from the bottom of his heart that he leaves, which I guess makes sense because he's not a Paris Saint-Germain fan.
No, he's not. He's not. I mean, Duga is his own person, very much so. He's got really strong opinion on the radio with me a lot. And yeah, this is what he said. He's been saying this for a long time. And I don't think he wishes badly on Mbappe or Ligue 1 overall. I think he knows that it would be better for Ligue 1 to keep Mbappe in there, but I think he thinks more for the national team as well, for his best friend Zinedine Zidane, who at some point is going to take over, that maybe Kylian Mbappe will become better.
Is he right?
Yeah, probably after the Euros, I would think.
No, is he correct that it would be good for Mbappe to move on? For Mbappe personally and his development and for the French national team?
I think as much as I would love him to stay.
I would tend to agree as well.
I think it's always better, especially if you go to Real Madrid or to Liverpool.